Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. They may not play in the same division, but that hasn't stopped these two teams from becoming big-time rivals. This figures to be one of the great games on the NFL regular season docket this year. It's the Cowboys going up against the Texans. With that, let's get you out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 9 matchup.
All right, thanks, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas at NRG Stadium in Houston. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They come in playing pretty good football, winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they have certainly got it rolling of late, winners of 6 in a row.
And it's simple. The more you win in the regular season, the more likely you play at home in the postseason, and that can take you deep into January.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6". They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he's going to be shoved down pretty hard. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. A gain of 3, second down. So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10. Now back to throw. Got a man. It's Brown. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. On fourth down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by Dak Prescott, the 135th pick in the draft back in 2016 from Mississippi State.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it in the middle of the schedule. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And he gets this one all the way up to the 40-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. A second down throw for Prescott. Forced out to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles are usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's a right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
So 4th and 15, but the offense is staying out there to go for it. Play clock winding down. On 4th, they do snap it to Prescott. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Geno Atkins. And, partner, I'm not really sure what in the world they were thinking on 4th and long there at this stage in the game. But now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
And he's going to go down again.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, That can be demoralizing for a team.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Looking to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky. Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Second down, Prescott taking a shot for Samuel. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Will Fuller with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Bailey now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And here comes the Texans now. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
7-0 is our score. We're back to Houston in just a moment. Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They'll run it now out of the gun, and he is knocked down from the side near the 25. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. This is taken at the 23. Might have needed just one more block as it stands. 37-yard return. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we would be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
A first down carry by Elliott. They find some open field here. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
They'll try again with Elliott. And a nice pick up there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. Third down. For a Cowboy score. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Able to punch it in on third down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating what we have to make the call. They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Bailey now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. And the Texans set to come onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman, and he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
They'll set up a throw. This will be caught by Brown. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop him?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Green 39! Green 39!
They'll look to throw here on first down. Got a man right side. It's Sharp. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. They'll set up to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play.
Here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90!
They'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a line. And now nothing but green ahead of him. The 40, the 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys.
The defense is doing their best, but they're struggling right now. They'll look for some help from their own offense to keep them in the game.
Here's Bailey now for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Shepard. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry.
All right, here we go.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Throw left side complete. That's Shepard. A gain of 6 there on first. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set.
All right, here we go.
He'll drop to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout. And now they get set to line up as we resume action. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll throw now on the final play. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Final play of the half. Prescott. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top as we send you on over to Orlando. Larry, go back to the green room, my friend. These guys are ready to go again. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Second half starts with a carry by Elliott. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. And they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But The way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
Prescott to throw it. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Pass interference. Defense.
A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And, Charles, when you catch that toss going right or left, really, but right in this instance, do you go straight for the pylon? Is that where you're going?
Well, typically you want to try and maneuver people a little bit so you have some space to get to the pylon. So I want to make sure I try and move them a little bit to the inside, and in this case to the left, so I can get to the right side and get to that pylon and wink at it as I go by.
Bailey now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
2nd down following the run. He'll look to throw, and he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose, and boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Back to throw here. That's complete to Sharp. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
They'll drop to throw. Over the middle, Sharp's got it complete. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. And they give this time to the tailback. And, oh, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back at the 18-yard line.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked #1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And oh, he coughed it up. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown.
Well, that was not quite the holy roller, partner. That was San Diego, Oakland. You might remember that in 1978, right? Kenny Stabler, forward fumble. Dave Casper falls on the end zone. Oakland beats him on the last play of the game. But that was a live football. And what a nice job he did to fall in the end zone. And yes, indeed, folks, that's a touchdown.
By the way, John Madden was coaching in that holy roller game, wasn't he?
He certainly was, and he wanted to make sure that the call went his team's way, was out on the field, and was told, yes, it's a touchdown. Now get back on the sidelines.
This is taken at his 4. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks. Right around the 31. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offensive sails, because they had it going pretty good last time, too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football, and it's incomplete, now you stop the clock, and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners, keep moving it, keep grinding clock.
8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. Now they try the right side here. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. They'll try to throw now. Prescott under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Geno Atkins in there to drop it for his second sack now here tonight. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Got his target, Samuel, and he carries this one all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to reap. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays, and it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. Bailey now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. And now out comes Houston. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
The Texans on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. Give them a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Houston. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 18. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. Good. Here we go.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. 2nd down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. On 2nd down, Elliott. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Looking to throw. Prescott. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. 18 yards there and a 1st down.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more.
Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Again, it's Elliott. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Now a handoff looking right. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Running with Elliott. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. The Cowboys here unable to convert on 4th down. And this Texans defense stands tall. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th. But they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for Dallas, the win here means it'll be a 7-1 first half of the season. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for Houston, they'll fall to 5-3 with a loss. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Tennessee Titans. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. Good night, everybody.